Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be checking out Metal Slug. As you can see, there's been a bit of like a revival or an update to the old school arcade game, retro gamers kind of loving Metal Slug that a lot of you guys are familiar with. And I want to tell you and kind of give you like a brief overview as to what the game has to offer, why I think this is actually one of the most honest updates to an old school arcade game that I've ever seen, and why it does actually have a lot of features that I guess like that have been updated to modern standards so that you have some form of replayability. Although again, for a lot of arcade games in the past, the replayability was already there. That was kind of the reason why most people played them at arcades anyways. Apologies. But let's get into it real quick. So first and foremost, to be clear, they have introduced now like more story or more, quest reward, like, some more things to lead you along the way, not just you beating missions endlessly and you having to pay money, in order for you to continue the story. But now, as you can see, now when you go to like the map, you can, I guess they're introducing me to new stages, I guess. But as you can see here, there's like stages now. It does cost energy, which I think is the main way that they, I guess, that's like the main limiter or energy source of the game. But again, as you can see, this is very true to... Oh, apologies for that sound. This is very true to the, the original base Metal Slug arcade game. It's like a bullet hell. There's like a bunch of things that you have to deal with, or, you have to dodge around. Now, again, the UI is a little bit different. And of course, since you're not playing an arcade, you have access to like mouse and keyboard. You have like different control schemes that you can apply. If you do want to play the old key scheme, or like the, if you want the old controls back, they do allow you to have like a variety of different ways to play the game, as you can see here. So in terms of aim control, if you want to control with literally with your keyboard alone and using like WASD, spacebar, and using like J to fire, that's totally fine. But personally, I think as someone that enjoys, using their keyboard, I'm going to personally be using my keyboard and mouse. It lets you, very, very easily aim at a bunch of different things on screen, as you can see. But the scoring system is still back. But this time the twist is that actually when you end up beating certain stages, or when you beat certain bosses or mobs just in general, they actually give you puzzle pieces, which is not a new concept to gacha games or to games, collector games of this variety in any sense. The puzzle pieces are used for a number of reasons. From what I've seen so far through the tutorial and through what I've seen through the early stages of the game, the puzzle pieces are used to unlock new weapons, which again, if you are familiar with like the new weapons and are familiar with the happiness that you get when you randomly get like a rocket launcher or a flamethrower, etc., the game is actually very interesting in that sense, because now in the past it isn't just, oh well, I have to beat a boss, or I mean, you're literally seeing it on screen. It's not just me endlessly fighting bosses or fighting challenge content. Now, if you want to upgrade, or if you want like a little bit more oomph when it comes to your fights or to like your weaponry, getting these puzzle pieces that you get from fighting bosses or from completing stages will improve or enhance or give you additional benefits to your weapons that again make boss fights, like general fights in general, or I guess fights in general, I should say, a lot easier, or just give you like a new unique like way to actually play the game. I'm about to get rammed, so I'm gonna start flying up and around, and I am gone. Oh, actually, just kidding, I'm back. That's another thing that I think has kind of changed, if I'm not mistaken. For the old Metal Slug, a lot of Metal Slug was based around having this one life system, and again, since it was an arcade game, a lot of people equate Metal Slug to one of these games where you go until you lose, and then wherever you perform or however you perform, the score is something that you compete with your friends. And you're probably wondering too, like, is there any multiplayer? Is there anything of that sort? And the honest to God truth is that originally I didn't know, but I've actually just recently been told, and I found out that actually there is going to be not only guilds, but also, I guess, not only guilds, but also player versus player. Now, again, the exact details of how that is going to be on launch and such is, in all honesty, kind of still up in the air. But just in terms of I apologize. I'm trying to bring something up. Just in terms of what you have access to at the beginning of the game, you can see here I've got like these little golden hammers, or these little golden picks rather. And when you use one of the golden picks, this is like kind of your gacha roll. So you hit the ground, you strike the ground, and you gain access to something that can benefit your team, can give you puzzle pieces, etc. So in this case, actually what I've just received is a new emblem for my character. Ooh, let me go to it. There it is. So for my team, for instance, right, like now what I have access to is a new emblem or a new attribute, like a new accessory, basically. Now, as you can see, it's not just a generic, oh, hey guys, like you get, you know, rockets on the ground, or you get like an assault rifle that you can pick up, or a flamethrower. Now you have, I don't know why that keeps making so much sound. I apologize. It's just literally just my LD player in the background just making so much noise. Anyways, now what you have access to is accessories that basically allow you to customize or introduce new aspects or new elements to the game. In this case, you gain crit rate, which again is absolutely ridiculous because now we're starting to kind of blend Metal Slug of old with modern standards when it comes to stat building, progression, and the creativity to kind of make your own kind of character. Again, for this specific accessory, it says that you restore ultimate skill energy for allies when you pick up food dropped by refrigerators. That's cool. Again, a new way to play. And even in terms of modern standards for playing, you know, RPGs or action RPGs, they even have the combat power or like the team power aspect, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous in a good way, because I wouldn't have honestly expected standards of old, or like gameplay standards of old, to kind of be able to seamlessly flow, I guess, with the new modern standard of gaming. But again, like if you do like another swing into the ground, we can see what else we get. Maybe it'll be another emblem, I'm not sure. Oh, and perfect, as you see here, actually, now we have access to the flamethrower. So, like I mentioned before, this is a good time to explain it. If you're looking at the weapons for this game, again, I showed you like a stage from the story, which I think, again, is pretty true to old Metal Slug standards. But now you have, again, the introduction of weapons, of characters. There's more characters, and again, to be fair, as a kid, I didn't get that far because I'm a kid in an arcade. I was just getting scammed out of my money. But ultimately, now with upgrades and stuff, you could see, like, as I upgrade my weapon, I'm getting closer and closer to some upgrades on my, I guess, on the weapons themselves. So as you can see here, for like the flamethrower, basically, that I've received, if you get it to level 20, you increase the damage. If you look at something like the grenade or the rocket launcher, the bazooka, whatever you want to call it, for what I've received for Theo, another character that I have access to, now you have something like at rank 50, after you hit a target for 8 times, the next hit deals additional damage equal to 40% of attack. Now, I cannot stress enough, if you are someone that has played this game in the past, all of this is kind of like gibberish, because you're like, oh, well, I picked up the flamethrower, or I picked up the rocket launcher, or I picked up like the grenade launcher, and then you kind of just mowed through the bosses, you kind of mowed through the story, and you were happy, you like bragged to your friends or something like that, and that's totally cool. But now there's actual variety, there's actual changes. If you're someone that only wants to specifically play like one of the specific or characters that you've been introduced to or that you're familiar with, of course they've got like the classics, they've got Marco, and of course they've also got Theo. But they've got a couple other characters that, unironically, I'm kind of excited to see. My favorite character, personally, is Violet. This looks like, I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for dual pistols or for dual weapons. But between Violet and, I mean, Eva, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Like, these two characters, I think, are extremely cool, at least for my standard. And they aren't even, like, the gold, like, the super epic rare characters. But, as you can see, it says how you receive these characters, or you can't actually see it. Let me move this on screen so you guys can see where it says it. It says obtained from limited events, obtained in treasure dig. Now again, like if you aren't familiar, by the way, this character is so goofy looking. If you aren't familiar with what the treasure dig is, the treasure dig was the pickaxe thing that I had just done, and of course, if they have limited events in the future, that's also really cool because, like I said, a lot of the appeal of Metal Slug at base is just completing the story, or is just completing stages, fighting more difficult content, or clearing through the game, which is, of course, always cool. But now you have different ways to do it, right? So, like, again, if you look at a character like Trevor, right, you can look at what his skills do. a lot of in-depth detail and like kind of customization or just thought process. It's like a much more thought-provoking theory crafting kind of game, while still having the ultimate like generic, nah, I wouldn't say generic, but like the very simple like low barrier of entry when it comes to playing. All you basically have to do is just look at the game and go, oh, okay, like if I really want to just shoot them up or like, beat them up, just shoot everything on screen, then I could totally do that. But if you're someone that also has, any interest in like the min-maxing of things, you can start saying like, oh, well, like the tennis ball, like is the tennis ball damage actually good enough? Or like, oh, like is it upgrading? Is it actually worth upgrading this? Should I upgrade like some other skill? All these things, or all this to say that honestly, I'll do another stage because I'm relatively pretty interested, honestly, in just playing the game and showing you guys how interesting some of the stages are in terms of, like what you have access to. But I have already kind of been a sucker when it comes to games recently, having some sort of gacha element without me actually having to pay like ridiculous amounts of money to have some kind of like dopamine from spinning. And honestly, that's kind of what this game is showing to me right now. Like, as far as I could tell, when you like shoot things in the sky, or like whenever you do like a secret event, or whenever you save, if you guys aren't also familiar with this, some of like the people that you save, or like the naked guy that you save, he also gives you like some stuff that you can, I guess, like not only. Oh wait, oh my gosh, wait a second. I just realized there's a secret here. I apologize. Another really cool thing, by the way, it feels like there is a lot. Oh, wait. Wait, I can't go back. Was this not the right way? Wait, I thought this was a secret. Is this not even the right way to go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait a sec. I was really not planning on going the right way, actually. I apologize. I was a little sidetracked, or I'm getting a little sidetracked. The reason why I was going out of my way to go look for the secrets is because, if you, again, familiar with Metal Slug, you don't actually have the ability to go backwards. But something I also think that's really cool, that I didn't touch on the last time, primarily because I was in a stage where I was like flying in the sky. Being able to swap between characters, I'm not super familiar with whether or not that's actually something that you used to be able to do, but seems really cool now, especially because they kind of introduce it as like a main gameplay aspect, where essentially you can like weaken a character with Theo and her having like the grenade launcher, and then you can switch to Marco to like do a bunch of damage with his like, his general machine gun. But I mean, if you just take a look at it, like there's plenty of complexity when it comes to the game. This thing's about to blow up on me. It looks like there's something up here too. Oh, it's gonna take me up there, right? Yes, okay. But yeah, there's like plenty of complexity when it comes to the game, but at base, like I'm sure, like as you can tell, if you just want to play the game like very kind of simplistically, just play for score basically, or play for completion, that's also totally fine. They also added like some ultimate skills to the characters. From what, again, I can recall, or what I remember from Metal Slug just as a kid, again, speaking anecdotally, this is very true, or this feels very true to Metal Slug. I don't think this is too different. Like, you clear through a stage, you fight, or you end up in like a boss arena, and then you have to like beat some like huge boss here. I'm fighting Cannaaaa this time, which is like this lava crab, which is, cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. But again, we have like different skills. You have your ultimates. For Marco, his ultimate is that he gains like super bullet time, which again, really cool. But I'm going to back out of here for a second. Oh, that's my heal. Oh. And again, each character has their own set of skills. So in Theo's case, she kind of swings her hammer around, and of course, I do want the defense break. Oh, and I need to back out around. I believe Theo actually has her ultimate now. Oh, she does not. I thought she did. I could have sworn I saw the indicator for it. Am I crazy? Oh, she does have it. Oh, wait. A phase 2? This is the first boss I've fought that actually has a phase 2, if this is... Oh my god, he does have a phase 2. Alright. Let's throw on the fridge. Okay, now we do have access to bullet time now. We can also freeze him. That's another really big thing when it comes to the boss fights in this game as well. Traditional boss fights, of course, whether it's in any other retro game that you played or in games in general, uh, have some sort of weakness or like weak point that you can do bonus damage to. But the tutorial and just this game in general does a really good job at kind of explaining what the goal of each kind of encounter or what you're supposed to be doing without like forcing you too hard into like one direction or the other. But as you can see, I've now got, I don't know, whatever that was. But it feels like, oh, okay. So that's like the general, I guess this is like the general list of bosses. I had seen this earlier. And again, like every time that you clear some of the bosses, you gain access to things that progress like the bosses or the story. I'm going to do another slam on the ground just to kind of show you guys. Again, this is the pick thing. So if I got like puzzle pieces for another character, that'd be cool. But all good. We got another weapon. I think this is, now we got the boom shotgun. So again, really cool. But that's pretty much all that I have to say about, I guess, or that's kind of my like general brief showcase of the game. I apologize. I missed a few things here and there because honestly, I just want to continue playing the game. That's not a joke. I'm kind of really surprised because I wasn't even aware of the fact that they were making they were remaking the game in an updated way. But again, Metal Slug is something that as a kid, speaking candidly, I used to bond a lot with some of my friends when I was like, younger or alongside my cousins and even my dad. My dad was kind of like a big arcade retro gamer. He used to take us to like Chuck E. Cheese's or like Dave & Buster's when we were kids to not only play like, again, some of the, like the crane games or any of the like DDR or kind of arcade games, but also for stuff like this, Time Crisis, etc. But again, I'm kind of interested in this because I've never really been able to complete the entirety of like a Metal Slug game. Again, when I played these games, I was a kid, but this looks like a pretty good opportunity to kind of see what the game is like, or what the redo is like, and see if there's any interesting concepts. According to the later features of the game, there's going to be PvP, there's going to be some PvE, which I'm looking really, I'm looking forward to. But in any case, guys, that's going to be it for this video. In general, I think this game is definitely worth a try if you have any interest in retro games or if you were familiar with the Metal Slug genre. And if not, honestly, this game already does have some aspects or some promising aspects of some dopamine-inspiring gacha rolling or some progression-based content. The combat itself does seem complex enough that if you want to play a game that's kind of intricate or detailed, you can kind of live off of that itself. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. This is going to be my first look. I'll probably make another video, honestly, about this game because I'm pretty generally interested in where like the game is going to go. But in any case, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again for watching if you made it this far. If you did enjoy today's content, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, and subscribe. I apologize because I know I didn't really have too much of the sounds on. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, my sounds on my PC right now are a little messed up. But let me see if I can fix it real quick, because a lot of the sounds, even like the power-ups when I was playing it initially. Yeah. I guess there was no sound for this until now. But anyways, very weird that it now works. But in any case, guys, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll let the music kind of jam out a little bit. Kind of interesting. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful, lovely day, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Good night.